Hey, dear friends and family, what a blessing it is to be here with you today, First Pres. I just thank you. I thank the Lord for this opportunity to be connected to you virtually. Jay, I know you're working in the background. I just thank you for all the hard work at connecting everyone today virtually. It's great to see people throughout the United States and throughout the world. I just pray blessings over all the missionaries that are now listening. And if you're listening, you're actually a missionary. If you love Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior, we're on a mission to share the love of Jesus. Thank you, Pastor Garrett, for opening up your home. Thank you, Pastor Whitney, for making this happen today. Thank you for the mission team for all the prayers and support you've given to us over the years. You guys have been amazing. Honey, this is my beautiful wife. Been married 17 years. And we've been in the mission field for 15 and a half years. Anything you'd like to say this morning, honey?
I was just thinking, and I was just so happy to be here and to see everything that God has been doing through our lives, through our family. And when you said hi to the missionaries, I thought, yes, we are so happy that there are a lot of people around the world also serving God. And it's just not you and I, we're just servants of God. And we are part of a team. One day we're going to meet all these people when we go to heaven.
Yep. Yeah, I know some of you guys that are connected today don't know who we are. We're actually, we're on a mission called Global Transformation Ministries. It was founded by a board in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So all the board members listening today, hey, we miss you guys and we want you here, but you are here through helping us to be here. We actually worked 15 some years here in Medellin. Well, actually we've been here 15 years, but for 11 years we were reaching out to street children and street girls, as well as doing church plants in a refugee community. And around 6 years ago, God gave us a new vision, and the vision was not to reach out to refugees, but to reach out to the middle upper class so that they would reach out to the least of these. And so it's just been a really exciting journey in the Lord in this new church plant. And I don't know if you have any things of the journey that you'd like to share today about the church plant.
I was thinking this morning how we had a dream 6 years ago, and we said we really want to start a church where the influential people can help us to start a ministry for street girls. And because we don't want to do everything, and we want all the community, all the Colombians helping. And just today, it's so beautiful to see. We have in our church, we have nurses, doctors, we have teachers, we have different people with different backgrounds, and they say, this is the phrase they say, global family. The family, in Spanish we say, la familia global, the global family, and they really feel like this is part of their life, this is part of their family. And so these girls, they're not just isolated, they're part of the family. And these doctors, these teachers, everybody, they feel everything. If they're happy, they're happy. They're sad, they're sad. If they have a prayer request, immediately they will be praying for them. So it's so beautiful to see, just to see what God has been doing, that we're part of a ministry, we're part of a family, and we all try to help each other. What do you think?
Oh yes, it's just been amazing, and I think I graduated from seminary with a missiology degree, the study of missions, and then I got a doctoral degree in leadership, and we made all these plans on how to do this church plan, how to reach out to the influential. But it was almost like all those plans we had to be strategic. Most of them were just kind of like a plan because God just made the church grow like that in a heartbeat. It was things such as sitting at a bread store, eating a cheese stick and drinking a cup of coffee and just sitting there praying, Lord, I pray that you would bring new people to the church and you put people in my life, just sitting there eating by yourself praying. I used to be an aeronautical engineer, and a car pulled up and had a problem with the car. She couldn't get the car running. And I was just sitting there eating, praying to God put somebody in my life to lead them to Christ, to have them come to our church and help the church grow. And next thing you know, she runs in and asks the bread guy, "Can you help? Can you help me fix my car?" And I'm thinking, well, I'm a mechanic, I could probably fix that. But she asked the bread guy. The bread guy couldn't get it fixed, so I got up and I was like, "Hey, let me look at your car." And she says, "Yeah." And so I'm messing around with her car, and she says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm a missionary here. I just planted a church here." And she goes, "Oh, really? Where's it at?" And I said, "It's right up the block. It's a block right there." And she says, "Oh, well, great. I live right across from that. I'll go to your church." And when she said, "I'll go to your church," immediately the car started right up. It was just like God making these divine appointments. Like the doctor she was talking about. I mean, we moved into a new neighborhood, trying to get closer to the church site. And what we started doing, we started reaching out to our oikos, or our group of people, friends and families around us, and started reaching out to the neighbors. And next thing you know, they get committed to the Lord and start serving the Lord. So it's been
A big blessing.
it's been very awesome. And part of our ministry, I told people when we did this church plan in Colombia, I wanted to reach out to the middle upper class, but at the same time, reach out to the impoverished. To have a church of all the different generations, all the different backgrounds. And it was pretty neat to see. We started the church, we had about 15 professionals start showing up, and all of a sudden we get 2 or 3 street people. Then we started getting people that didn't have jobs, and more professionals show up, and just to see, like, be part of the
a
church.
lot of kids. A lot of kids.
A lot of kids, a lot of young.
kids. Yes, and those kids, they brought their families to Christ.
Yeah.
Now they are teenagers.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. We started reaching out to the children of the neighborhood, and I'll never forget. It was a Halloween, and we were having this harvest party, and this mother, she was drunk, and she says, "I just want to tell the whole community." There was like probably about 10 or 15 people there that weren't members of our church, but I just want to tell our whole community, the only people in this whole entire community that actually does anything good for us is that church. We should be so thankful. We thank you guys for looking out for our kids. Well, 3 months later, she's in her church and she's repenting from her ways and she's following the Lord, and now she's going out in the streets evangelizing others. So it's been pretty neat to see God make our church grow. And
Yeah.
in the last 2 years, our church has had made a dynamical change because Colombia has changed. Actually, we have over 1 million refugees from Venezuela, so we start getting these Venezuelans coming to our
And we
church.
didn't have that before. When we started, that was not
Yeah.
an issue
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, it wasn't even, the Venezuelans, there wasn't even refugees. I mean, when we started our church, still Venezuela was a great place to be, but because of socialism, it just collapsed. And we've seen a lot of great testimonies of people, just desperate for the Lord, not having employment, and then coming to the Lord, and shortly after, God providing jobs for them. It's just been amazing to see. I don't know, there's a story about Daniel. I remember Daniel, he come to the church selling brownies. And, you
He's
should...
professional.
Yeah, he's a professional.
He's
Graduated
professional.
from.
He graduated. He comes from a very good family from
Yeah.
Venezuela,
Yeah.
but he didn't have future in his country, so he left his country. He came to Colombia and he was selling brownies on the street. But just to see him, how he gave his life to Christ, he got baptized. Now he's part of the kids ministry. The other day he told me, "I really don't know how to give more to God. I want to give more. I want to give more. I want to help more." It's so beautiful to see how God can change people's heart. It doesn't matter where you come from. If God has a purpose for you and you open your heart, the Lord can do miracles, things.
Yeah, it's amazing. When we see like Danielle coming, they come by the families. Like young 20-some-year-old Danielle comes to two brothers came, and they're praying for their mom and dad that they can cross the border illegally and get to Colombia, and they crossed the border illegally and came to Colombia. Then we had a husband and wife come, and we just keep on over and over again, more and more Venezuelan refugees. That's something you can pray for as a ministry, because a lot of them come over, or most of them are coming over illegally, and then just to try to get them plugged in to get a job and get employment. They have no paperwork, no documentations, and people here.
But not because they don't want. It's because in their country they don't. They can.
Yeah. You can't get a visa. You
can
can't
get
get a
it.
passport. They're not letting people leave with their passports. And even now, when people are leaving Venezuela, the president said, "If your home is empty, we will take it." And so people are moving into empty homes. It's a really big mess. So be praying for Venezuela. We had scheduled for March to do a health brigade right there on the borders of Venezuela and reach out to the refugees there, but it got canceled. because of
The COVID.
COVID, right? But we hope to be doing that again next year once it settles down. But
And maybe
very blessed.
some of you, if you want to go with us, you can join us.
And talking about COVID, like as a church, we've tried to reach out to those that don't have jobs. And before, a lot of these people from the Venezuelan, they were being outside the streets cleaning people's windshields and make a little bit of income to be able to provide for their family. But now, because of the laws and regulations, they can't even be out on the streets. So we've been blessed, but many people at First Pres, as well as other churches, have come alongside and made donations where we've given food baskets and been able to provide for just basic nutrients so they've been able to survive. So we've been very blessed as a church, as well as the National Colombian Church rising up and giving food to them. So that's been
The Lord
very
has been
exciting.
so faithful. That's something that I want to say. The Lord has been so faithful. All the members, all these people, they have received food, and even they have been able to share it with their neighbors, with their relatives. The Lord has multiplied every single donation we have received. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, it's been amazing, amazing. And then 3 years ago now, we started. I was working in a seminary here in Medellin, teaching classes, and it was a lot of fun. But I also saw the need, like, there's a lot of people want to go to seminary, but they have no resources, like they have very limited resources. And we were able to make a contact with a seminary in the United States, and we actually have our own seminary right here in Medellin, Colombia. So it's been exciting to be teaching people that have been pastors for 25 years and never been to a seminary, as well as teaching students that just received Christ as Lord and Savior 6 months ago. It's been pretty fun. I mean, I remember one time Catherine was teaching Esther, and we had the 25-year-old pastor and the 6-month-old newborn believer just bawling her eyes out, crying for God's love and joy. Just lots of great stories and testimonies. We have a lot of work we want to do in that to continue to make that grow. It's a process, but it is fun. I don't know if anything stands out to you about the seminary.
It's so great that this December we're going to finish the master. Next year they're going to apply for the doctor. And how time flies, and just to see the fruit. We all have grown up. We all have grown teaching, receiving, and I am so thankful that the Lord let us start with a seminar, because we really needed to grow more as a church. As a church, they needed to have more theological foundation, because some of them they came from other churches that, sadly to say, they were hurt also.
And like as a family, we're just going to kind of talk about our ministry in a nutshell and talk about different things. And so I think it's always important as a family and as individuals and what our passions are. And I'm blessed, as you tell, to have a most wonderful wife, and a wife that really supports me here on the field. If it wasn't for her, I couldn't be here. And we've been blessed to have 3 wonderful, healthy children.
Yes.
Josiah is 8 years old. Matthew is 5 years old.
Isabella 10.
And Isabella is 10 years old, and they love being here in Colombia. We, because of COVID, we've all started homeschooling. Well,
But
I
that
don't want
was
to say we,
before,
no,
no.
even before.
But that before COVID, we started homeschooling
With Josiah.
Josiah, because he really needed different education. And in December, our daughter, she wanted to start homeschool, and our third boy, we put him in homeschool for the COVID, and it has been a big challenge, a good challenge, yeah.
Yeah, and it's been neat to, be here in the field. All 3 of them speak better Spanish than me. Yeah, and all of them speak probably better English than me too. But it's amazing, and it's to see them to reach out, to love on people, to see them, to like, hey, if Esther's home, we need to pray for them, and see them to grow in their own ways. To see my daughter, when she was going to regular school, to come home and say, I was telling the teacher at my school at lunch what I was doing, and
She started crying.
yeah, she started crying.
I don't know why.
I don't know why. Just see like God using them, to see the family grown in the ministry. To
A
see
passion.
passion.
Yes.
To see like last night, one of my kids had a headache, so Josiah like really fervently prayed that God would heal my daughter's headache. So it's just
They wanted
nice
to be
see
here
growth.
today, but
Yeah, they were.
kids they can go out.
Yeah, legally we can't go around town with our
Yes,
kids.
I mean, but they really
COVID.
wanted to be here today.
Yeah, they were all upset that they couldn't hear my daughter was coming here holding the babies.
Yes.
But it's a lot of great things. But you know, we have, as you see behind us, we are here at Esther's home, and Esther's home was, like Catherine was saying, 6 years ago. The dream came to us, and to reach out to the middle upper class, and so they reach out to the least of these, and so then we started going out about 2 years ago, reaching out to the impoverished girls on the streets, and as a church, so the church would get the passion and not be so fearful. You know, if you ever went out on the streets, the first time you go on the streets, you get overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, how can I say hi? You know, it was pretty fun, because if you take these people that were professionals that never talked to a street person ever, kind of like, hey, here's your cheese stick, and kind of hold it from a distance, and then the next time they're like hanging on them, hugging on them, praying for the people. It's just been really neat to see that transition of faith
But as a
in the Lord.
Colombian, I can tell it's a different dynamic, different reality during the day than during the night.
Oh, yeah,
it's
during
a
the night.
different thing. I'm from Colombia, and before we started the ministry and before we work in the ministry, I didn't see that reality. So for these people, that was something new. Like, is this real? There are
Yeah.
people working on the street.
Yeah. So that's been very fun to take people who's never been on the streets and go out and feed them. It's been exciting to just reach out and love on those girls. But then 3 years ago, we started doing a lot of fundraising to purchase land and build something. And then finally, last year, January of last year, we raised the money, and then we bought this piece of property, and then we started building. And after we opened the doors of this home on December the 9th, and we received 3 girls. So that was pretty exciting to see it come into completion. So I'm going to go find one of the girls, because they were supposed to be here by now, but they're running on.
She's here.
Yeah, she is here. So
She's here. But I wanted to say something, honey. I wanted to say something that for those missionaries that are out there in the mission field, if God puts something in your heart, just have faith. We didn't have anything. We didn't even have a brick. We didn't have nothing. And the only thing we had was a dream. We believe was from God. We have a passion in our heart. And if you have that passion, if God puts something in your heart to do something with a specific community or to reach a specific kind of people, just believe. Just believe. I mean, this message is for you. That if God put that in your heart, the Lord will provide, the Lord will help you, the Lord will open ways that you never have seen before. And I mean, we're here kind of laughing, but and happy, but it took us a lot of faith. Do you think, Brian? A lot of faith. Many times we didn't have enough, and it was, I mean, financially, but the Lord reminds us over and over that if He calls us, He will provide. And we're going to put our mask because for the protocols in Colombia, we must wear the mask.
yeah. So since Catherine and I, we don't actually live here in this facilities, but she does.
Yeah.
She don't have to. No tiene que poner la máscara.
No, tranquilas,
Pero nosotros
para
sí.
nosotros protegerte a ti. Okay. She's used to, because if any visitors, any person comes here, they have to wear it.
Yeah.
But
So.
yeah.
But you know, I know the masks are just extremely annoying, and I know like going to church wearing the mask is just extremely annoying. But I think about all those people in China that would love to be worshiping God from the top of their lungs with the mask on. The people that can worship the Lord, and to the people in the Middle East and the 1040 windows. So we'll wear it and bear it. So anyway, so today we're with Jocelyn, and Catherine had some questions for Jocelyn. I'm going to translate for her because her English is, we're working on it. We are working on it. So
Jocelyn, gracias por estar aquí con nosotros y poder participar en esta conversación.
and Jocelyn, I thank you for coming here today and be able to be part of this
Conversation.
This conversation.
Con con mucho gusto de corazón.
There's with much pleasure from my heart.
Jocelyn, cuéntanos cómo llegaste aquí.
And I'd like to ask you, Jocelyn, how did you get here?
Yo no tenía dónde ir.
I didn't have any place to go.
No tenía dónde ir en embarazo y
I was pregnant, I didn't have anywhere to go.
Dios tocó el corazón de muchas personas para yo llegar aquí.
And God touched many people's hearts for me to be able to get here.
Sí, primero fue el corazón de la psicóloga y
first.
ella habló para que yo pudiera, para yo poder llegar aquí.
At first, I talked to a psychologist, and she opened the door for me to be able to come here.
Sí, después llamó a la coordinadora Diana a ver si había un lugar para mí.
And then they called the coordinator, her name is Diana, and they see if there's a place here for me to live.
No tenía dónde vivir, ya que
I
yo
didn't have any
venía.
place to live.
¿Tú dónde estabas viviendo, Jocelyn? Cuéntanos un poquito
She says, where were you living
para
before?
entender un poquito
To
la
help us
realidad.
understand a little bit,
Exacto,
what was
para
your reality?
explicarles a ellos dónde vivías, qué comías,
Where did you live? What did you
qué
eat before
tenías,
you got
quién te
here?
ayudaba,
Who helped
cómo
you?
hacías, porque estabas en embarazo.
Because you were pregnant.
Yo llegué en embarazo de Venezuela hace ya un año.
I got pregnant in Venezuela a year ago.
No, she got from Venezuela a year ago.
Oh, she got from Venezuela. Well,
Es vergonzosa mi pasado, pero Dios Dios me cambió, entonces
Tranquila.
it's a little embarrassing my past, but God has changed me, and this isn't all
Pero es
me.
lindo tu futuro.
ay,
She says
sí,
it's beautiful our
presente.
future.
mi presente es hermoso, también confío en que mi futuro va a ser precioso.
My presence is beautiful. My present moment is beautiful, and I have faith in the Lord, and my future will
De
be beautiful.
Venezuela llegué acá a Medellín, tengo una hermana aquí en Colombia.
And I come from Venezuela, and I came to Medellin, and I have a sister who lives here in
Y,
Colombia.
Mi hermana estaba en un municipio, en Río Negro, un
And my,
municipio.
and
Sí.
my sister was in a municipality called Rio Negro.
Ella me recibió, ya después ahí vivíamos en un pagadiario,
And she
salíamos
received me, and we lived in a place where we had to pay each day, like every day you
a
had to pay to
vender
live there.
cositas así como
Como en la calle, vender dulcecitos.
So we would
dulces.
go out in the streets every day selling candy and stuff on the streets.
pero no sabía que estaba en embarazo.
But I didn't know I was pregnant.
Entonces uno en el mundo, yo trabajaba en un bar,
Now I worked, I was in the worldly life, and I worked in a bar.
ya no quería esa vida, pero ya como que me tocó, trabajé en un bar despachando así como mesera, ya después me vi bebiendo, ya después me vi.
So I worked in a bar. At first, I was like a waitress and giving beer to people, and the next thing you know, I just kept on processing in that type of work.
Sí, ya después me vi bebiendo,
And I started-
terminé vendiendo mi cuerpo.
And I started drinking alcohol with the same clients that were in the bar, and next thing you know, I started selling my body.
Sí, por la necesidad así como de no conseguir un empleo,
Y
entonces
estabas en embarazo.
Because I had needs and I didn't have employment, and so it was an easy way to make.
ya después siento como algo raro dentro de mí y no, con 5 meses de embarazo,
And I started feeling
sabía.
something kind of weird in me. I started feeling something different. And I was,
yo
I
trabajaba en ese bar
discovered,
en embarazo, yo fui y
I discovered at 5 months pregnant, I was pregnant. When I was 5 months pregnant, I discovered I was pregnant.
estaba en embarazo en ese bar sin saber, yo trabajando ahí me vi como gordita, me hice una prueba de embarazo, me sentía rara y algo me decía que me hiciera una prueba de embarazo.
And I was working there in that environment, and I felt kind of overweight. And I heard somebody tell me I need to go do a test to see if I was pregnant or not.
Después yo me hice la prueba de embarazo y salió positivo.
And I made the test, and it come out that I was positive. I was pregnant,
Supe que estaba en embarazo con 26 semanas
and I was 26 weeks pregnant.
y ya seguí, no dije nada, no tenía dónde vivir. También me quedé en ese bar porque no tenía dónde vivir.
I didn't have anywhere to go or live, so I stayed there in that bar working.
Y en ese bar me daban vivienda y todo, entonces
In that bar,
fue mi
getting
única
everything I
opción,
needed.
creo. Entonces ya después supe que estaba en embarazo, seguía bebiendo.
And I realized I was
haciendo
pregnant. I
muchas
kept on
cosas.
drinking, kept on things that was not correct.
¿Qué más?
Pero es una realidad, Jocelyn, que pasa a muchas niñas de Venezuela, ¿cierto?
Sí.
And she says it's a reality to help them. Catherine says it's a reality to help them to a lot of Venezuelans, and she says yes.
Hay unas que les gusta, otras que nos toca.
And there's some, she says there's some girls that like that work, and there's other girls like me that just like that's what they had to do. There's no other opportunities.
Antes de llegar al bar estaba aquí en casa de una amiga que me recibiera, es un amigo, entonces me tocó quedarme en el bar porque si no dormía en la calle. Dios nunca me permitió dormir en la calle.
So like before I came to the bar, that was the only option I had. If I didn't go to the bar, I'd have been sleeping on the streets.
Y cuéntanos, Jocelyn, listo, entonces llegaste, estabas en embarazo,
So she said, tell us about you came here,
Dios
you
te
were pregnant.
conectó con Casa Esther, llegaste aquí y cuéntanos un poquito
so-
este proceso.
So you got pregnant, you got rescued, you come here to Casa Esther's home, and then I'll tell us a little bit about your process,
Un poquito de ese proceso aquí en Casa Esther.
a little bit about your
¿Cómo te has
process and
sentido?
how have you felt,
¿Qué ha sido lo que más has aprendido?
what have you learned the most here.
Oigan, yo le cuento como un testimonio antes de ese del bar, de llegar a Casa Esther. Yo en ese bar se dieron de cuenta que estaba en embarazo y ya me sacaron, no podía estar ahí, me dijeron que me fuera.
So I have like a little story I want to tell you. When I got kicked out of the bar, when I realized I was pregnant, all that stuff, they told me I could no longer be there, and they kicked me out of the bar.
Yo no tenía dónde ir ya en embarazo, yo quería abortar este bebé, yo no quería tenerlo porque
And there I was
¿cómo lo iba-
pregnant. I wanted just to abort my baby.
¿Cómo lo iba a sostener? Entonces
I was not going to take care of my baby.
tengo una tía que es cristiana, empezó a interceder por mí, a orar, que está en Ecuador.
And I had an aunt that was a Christian, that was in Ecuador, that started praying, interceding for me.
Dios como que envió un ángel y ese ángel ya contactó a la psicóloga. Yo duré un mes, todo octubre viviendo en su casa.
And God sent an angel, and I spent a whole entire month in a lady's house for 1 month.
Después ya esa persona contactó a la psicóloga y la psicóloga contactó a la señora Diana.
And then that person contacted our psychologist, and then that person contacted our program instructor, Diana.
Y ya después me trajeron acá
And then they brought me here.
de 7 meses de embarazo.
And when I got here, I was 7 months pregnant.
Entonces cuéntanos cómo ha sido ese proceso aquí.
La vida
So
me
tell me,
cambió.
how's your process been here?
Yo desde que llegué aquí mi vida cambió por completo.
Since my life, as soon as I got here, my life started changing 100%.
Aún de que estaba aquí con 7 meses todavía no sé, no estaba decidida si tener ese bebé porque qué le iba a dar, qué le iba a brindar.
And then, although I had 7 months pregnant, I still didn't know what I was going to get to my child. I was still like thinking, should I keep my baby or not?
Después, no sé, aquí en el hogar me empezaron a decir que me podrían ayudar, me iban a capacitar y ya fue
And so
como
then they started here telling us, I'm going to give you training, I'm going to give you abilities to be able to
queriendo
get
este
employment.
bebé.
And I started loving my baby.
¿Qué entrenamientos has recibido aquí
And
de
what type of
trabajo?
training have you received here of work?
Primero fue capacitación en confesiones,
So first I've learned how to do confections, like to be a seamstress.
ahora en belleza.
And now I'm learning training on how to do stuff on like to be a beautician.
Primero me estaban ayudando antes, ¿cómo se capacitación,
Como educación primero.
educación primero.
So and then also when they first started teaching me like just regular educational stuff like math and English, math and Spanish, stuff like that.
Y en esos momentos estás ya en tu práctica en confecciones
So right now you're in your right now you're doing your practicum on confections, like to be in a seamstress
en
right?
una big company, en una company, en
in,
una
in,
red
in a company.
Y como eso ha sido muy precioso, que ahora ya tienes un trabajo.
It's been
Sí,
very,
porque yo me siento bendecida porque muchos venezolanos no tienen cómo conseguir un empleo.
I feel very blessed because there's many Venezuelans who don't have a way to get employment here.
Y yo que yo no sé, Dios me ayudó a que yo voy a trabajar ahí con ellos. Soy muy agradecida, me siento súper bien en este empleo, me gusta aprender, estoy aprendiendo a hacer estos tapabocas.
And I really like what I'm doing. I'm learning every day in my work, and I'm progressing, and I'm making these face masks.
Y Jocelyn, una pregunta. ¿Qué sueño tienes?
And I have a question for you, Justin. What is your dream?
en el futuro?
In the
¿Cómo
future.
te ves en un futuro?
Where do you see yourself in the future?
Oye, me gusta la belleza, yo quiero ser estilista.
I like the stuff that has to do with the beautician. I like to be a stylist.
Yo estoy emocionada porque ahora aquí, gracias a este hogar, voy a capacitarme de belleza y quiero que sea un sueño hecho realidad ser estilista de belleza o
And I'm in this place. I'm learning. I really want to be a hairstylist, and I'm really emotional about being able to get this, to be able to do this.
o no sé, trabajar en una peluquería, pero yo quiero, me gusta la belleza, ese es mi sueño.
You know, I don't know, but I could go work in a hairstylist place, but I would like to really be a hairstylist, right? To be
Yes.
not just a beautician, but a hairstylist.
También quisiera, también quisiera como estudiar, quiero estudiar, yo no,
Una carrera.
una carrera, yo no soy bachiller.
And
She wants to finish her high school.
She wants to finish her high school and be able to continue her study.
Jocelyn, una última pregunta.
And our last question.
Estamos aquí al frente de muchas personas que han ayudado
We're here in front of a lot of people
poder
that's helped
construir esta hermosa
to help us
casa.
build this home.
¿Y qué quisieras decirles?
What would
Tú
you
no
like to
los
say?
conoces, pero si estuvieran aquí,
You
¿qué
don't
les
know them,
dirías?
but if they were here right now, what would you like to
Uy,
say?
yo le doy muchas gracias a todas esas personas que
I'd like to give thanks to all those people
obraron, que pusieron ese granito de arena para que estuviera este hogar. Yo no sé qué sería de mí.
I just want to thank all you guys. I don't know what would have been, where I would have been at.
Yo no sé si este bebé existiera si no hubiese sido por ese
I don't
hogar,
even know if this baby would exist
porque
if it
yo
wasn't
estaba
for this place.
dispuesta a abortar
So I was there at the point to abort my child,
y conocí de Dios
and I
gracias a
come
este
to know the
hogar
Lord, and I thank the Lord.
y ya no quisiera apartarme. Quiero agradecerle a todas esas personas por ese corazón tan hermoso y
And I want to thank all these people, all those beautiful, with your beautiful heart.
le pido a Dios que le multiplique sus obras
And I pray that God would multiply
bendición,
your works and your vision,
en salud, en vida, en
health and
dinero.
strength and finances.
Estoy muy agradecida con todos ustedes.
And I'm very grateful to all you guys.
Yo quisiera la última cosa, the last thing. We can't live without seeing the baby.
Oh yeah, the baby.
Tienes que traer el bebé. Vaya corriendo. Él es famoso.
So we gotta bring Matthias.
And it's true. I mean, this is just an example of what the Lord has been doing in these girls' lives. And we have right now 6 girls. For the COVID situation, we haven't been able to move quicker to receive more for all the protocols. But if we talk to different girls, they have very similar testimonies. Don't you think, Ryan?
Yeah, we've been very blessed to be able to help rescue these babies out of harm's way. Like she was saying, we've actually, since we've opened our homes, we've rescued 8 girls. The 8 girls actually lived here all together, and 7 of the 8 was actually in line at the abortion clinic when the psychologist she was talking about actually reached out to them to stop that to happen. As well as we are blessed that we've helped another 20 girls that weren't on the streets but almost on the streets and be able to help them have their babies and provide their basic needs. So we've been very, very, very blessed.
Yeah.
So Matthias was actually, I think, the second child that was
¿Cuántos meses
born.
tiene
The third
Matías?
child was born in our
Tiene
girls.
6 mesecitos.
So Matías is 6 months old.
So,
Hi, Matías.
So, I know that all you guys right now want to reach out. So I know all you guys want to reach out and bless her. And so, I just like for all of us to extend our hands from right there virtually. And we're going to pray for Jocelyn. We just pray that Jocelyn's life will continue to be transformed and God will answer her dreams. Vamos a orar por Jocelyn, que ya el Señor va a estar sus sueños. So you want to pray in Spanish? And we'll just pray in Spanish, and y'all, the Lord knows what we're praying to God anyway. You'll understand. The Lord knows what we're saying.
Señor, gracias por la vida de Jocelyn. Gracias, Señor, por su precioso Matías, Señor. Gracias. Creemos, Señor, que tú estás haciendo cosas maravillosas en ella, cosas grandes en ella, y un futuro grande tienes para ella, Señor. Cúbrela, Señor, con tu protección. Cúbrela, Señor. Guárdala. Guárdala, Señor. Síguela protegiendo. Dale mucha sabiduría y mucho entendimiento para seguir creciendo y cumplir sus sueños. En el nombre de Jesús. Amén.
Amén, amén, amén. Oramos
Amén.
eso. Amén. Listo.
Gracias.
Jonathan, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
Chao,
Dios lo
gracias.
bendiga grandemente.
Gracias,
Dios
gracias.
lo bendiga. So we got like 3 more minutes. We can take off the mask. Oh, that sounds so funny.
We're still getting used to it.
But anyway, there's many things where it's great it's here happening, and there's many struggles, there's many victories. So we just thank you guys for helping us. And as missionary Catherine was saying about the missionaries, to keep on moving forward. And I was thinking, you know, years ago I was in a church. And you wonder like what keeps you going. And years ago, an elderly man come to me. I finished preaching in this church, in an old country church. And an elderly man come to me. I never forget, solid gray hair, problems walking, and he said, "Son, you don't have to." He held this coin like this. "Son, you don't have to know my name, but I know your name. And I just want you to know from this point on, my wife and I are praying for you. And every time you see this coin, you just remember I'm praying for you." There's many times I would wake up super early in the morning to come to build this home, thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is so much work."
Oh, not only that, we went through a lot of sickness, a lot of very big issues. I was very sick with IBS, and many times we have our kids in the hospital. And it's like, I mean, sometimes we forget, but the Lord was there.
Yeah.
Every step.
Yep.
And sometimes we woke up thinking, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do it?
Yeah.
But the Lord always help us.
Yeah. Yeah, but every time I saw this coin, I had this coin by my bed, and every morning I would see this. And there were certain mornings where just like the Lord used that little coin to say, "Hey, remember, there's people out there praying for you, and the Spirit of the Lord is there pushing you, and He's going to enable you to do what you need to do." And so all those people out there, we're all on a mission field, whether you're in Baton Rouge or whether you're in, you know, in the Middle East or Africa or whether you're in West Virginia. We're all on a mission field. So may the Lord God just give you the empowerment through the Holy Spirit to keep on moving forward, to never give up. You know, the dreams that God's put in your heart, it's not just your dreams, it's His dreams. God's heart is to rescue these babies, to rescue these mothers. You know, when you read Psalms 33 today, think about that. Think about how God helps the afflicted. Think about how God reaches out to the brokenhearted. And I just want to encourage all you guys to keep on keeping on, and don't give up. And I don't know anything that Catherine would like to say
You
before we
just said,
close.
don't give up. Don't give up. If the Lord calls you, He will help you all the way through. And yes, we went through many things, but the Lord He always show us His mercy and His love.
I loved years ago Derek Prince had in one of his sermons, he says, you know, God always has the last word.
Amen.
He always wins.
Amen.
And God is winning. God is saving lives here in our ministry as well as your all's ministries. And I just want to ask you guys to keep praying for us, to keep on keeping on. Future projects are we're going to start a coffee shop. So the girls can learn how to work a coffee shop, as well as they use it as an outreach to the community to try to reach out to people and lead them to Christ. But right now with COVID, everything's closed, literally closed here in Columbia, but we're trying to think in probably March, April, we'll start that coffee shop, so keep us in your prayers. As well as there's other projects here we're trying to finish here at the girls' home. There's always some type of construction, and so just be praying. We need to make 6 more beds, so we will house 12 girls here, as well as filling out the nursery. So we love you guys, and we just bless you guys in the name of the Lord, and we'll be seeing y'all soon. Actually, we'll be seeing y'all tomorrow, Lord willing, or I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you for your time.